Am I the astronaut for not giving my best friends a +1 at our wedding? Our wedding budget allowed us to not have to worry about limiting the amount of guests within reason. Well, that's not a great start. My best friend at the time and groomsman, Russell, not real name, had a girlfriend, Shannon, who no one liked. Everyone was around her only because Russell is a great guy and a perfect gentleman, etc. He's the kind of guy who is so nice and everyone wants him to be happy, find a good woman, and have a good life. Shannon, on the other hand, was very negative, toxic, and people thought she was a little weird, not in a good way. There are so many stories of her just being rude, a party pooper, and I later found out saying bad opinions about us. These comments would surface on Facebook, through some games we play in friend groups, and through talking behind our backs. Basically, Shannon was rude and a "you must be fun at parties" type of person. The part that was hard for me was that while Shannon was so negative and toxic and judgmental, Russell was so good and happy. I felt like I was supposed to tell him that his girlfriend sucks, but who am I to tell a happy man something negative? So when it came time to send out the invitations, I felt like I was at a crossroads with inviting Shannon or not. Many friends and even family have expressed their concern with sitting at the same table as Shannon. Then my fiance, now wife, requested that Shannon not be invited, and that was it. I sent Russell one without a +1. He didn't know, but he was the only person with a significant other who didn't get a +1 on his invite. Am I going to go into my wedding/marriage upsetting my best friend, or am I going into it upsetting my wife and close friends? That's an easy choice. The wedding day came, and I left a seat open for him, and understandably, he didn't show up. I wasn't mad about it, and I understood it, but I was a little bummed. Many guests came in, looked at the list of tables, and were relieved that Shannon wasn't at their table. Then they felt that they could party freely. I don't regret not inviting her, but I feel like in hindsight, I could have approached the subject differently or sooner. Am I the astronaut for not inviting his +1? The title is not the same as the story. It was singled out to one person. They even say it's singled out to one person here, so that does change things a little bit, but it's not just you. Nobody wanted her there. How would you have that conversation with your friend? How would you approach it? Tater Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Thunder for the first time today.
I probably would have talked to him before just not inviting his girlfriend. I probably would have said that she makes everyone uncomfortable and we don't want that drama at our wedding, so she can't come. But he should have told him before, not just extending the +1.
I agree.
And she should have told him why, because just not sending it and not communicating it just made him feel a certain way.
We don't know how long they've been together. We don't. There's a lot that we don't know, right? That could have complicated this or made it easier. If they hadn't been together that long, it'd be a pretty easy conversation. But to have the conversation be like, hey man, no one wants to deal with your girlfriend there.
Yeah, I mean, open that and maybe that conversation can lead to somewhere. And I get what he's saying. Nobody wants to be around someone that is like that. Like, it's uncomfortable and makes you feel self-conscious and icky in a certain way. So I get why they don't want her there, and the wife didn't want her there. I don't have any problems with not wanting her there. It's just communicate why you don't want her there.
Right.
And give him the chance to absorb that information besides just sending an invitation.
Agreed. And I don't feel like we would be, it wouldn't have changed what happened at the wedding, right? He wouldn't have shown up, but there's not showing up because even if you talk to him and you're like, hey, here's what's going on, and I would love to just invite you and not her because nobody wants her here. He then is put in a position where either he goes to the wedding without her and creates division within his relationship, or doesn't go and stands in solidarity with her, which is what he ended up doing anyway.
Right.
So like you could have had the conversation. It's just an awkward conversation, right? And I feel like OP just avoided the awkward discomfort by just sending that off, which feels cowardly. It does feel like it should have been done differently, which would be, what, an Ask on 3 if you should have done it differently?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I do feel like I don't know. You can't tell someone who to break up with or who to be with, but if he had voiced concern and opinion on the conversation, it could have opened a door.
What happens when you leave silence there, right? There's no narrative control, and you allow the other person to fill in the blanks with the worst possible scenario.
Right.
And that's, I don't think you want the other party here to fill in the blanks and just make up whatever they want, right? You want to have the truth in there so that he at least knows, and he's still going to miss your wedding, but you could still be You could still be buddies.
So I guess they let Shannon control the narrative on his end. And of course, you know what that narrative is going to be if she's already talking shit on everyone. And if she is talking shit on his friends, like why does he allow that? Or why has he not stopped it? Or like, have they conversated about that? You know, Russell and Shannon, but I don't know. That's a whole nother.
Pain creates change, right? And he hasn't experienced enough pain to have that conversation yet. This might have been it.